So, welcome sa ating bagong episode and medyo nakaka-adjust na tayo sa parenthood. And before anything else, gusto ko muna i-share ninyo ito sa inyong KKK, ang inyong kaibigan, kamag-anak, kapatid, kaaway, kaopisina, kachismisan, lahat ng kayo mo, i-share mo to sa kanila kasi I'm sure if you've been listening to the podcast for quite some time now and natulungan ka na nito about your finances and about purposeful living as well. So, itong episode na to is special. Lagi naman special kasi it's a different perspective about building wealth. And alam nyo ba na time is the most valuable resource we have, and many of us overlook its importance in our pursuit of financial freedom. Kasi I think yun ang nakasanayan natin. And we often think that financial abundance will give us the life we desire. Pero merong foundational element that we are missing. And I read this book, yung Who Not How, which was written by Dan Sullivan. And doon natutunan ko that time freedom is the foundation of true financial freedom. Actually, bago pa nabasa yung book na yun, yun na pala yung path na tinataha ko. And without control over your time, financial freedom remains as an elusive goal. Kaya today, I'll be sharing with you bakit yung time freedom should come first before financial freedom and how you can gain control over your time. Pero I'll also share some words of caution for those who want to pursue this path kasi hindi siya ganun kadali. Okay, so let's get started. Ano ang problema? Ano ba nangyayari? And bakit ba many of us, ang usual na thinking is dapat talaga kumita ka muna ng pera before you reach yung time freedom. Okay? And many of us are focusing solely sa ating mga financial goals, working tirelessly to increase our wealth. And kaya lang, dahil ito yung ating nagiging focus, ang dami mga consequences. For example, you're working in a high-paying job, kaya lang most of the time, yung demand nito sa iyong oras is mataas din. And nade-neglect na neto yung iyong personal time for growth or time with the family. And oftentimes, nako-compromise ang inyong health. Ito yung mga key issues na nakikita ko sa ganitong usual path. Number one is burnout. Okay? Overworking leads to burnout. Kaya nagdi-diminish natin productivity and even our creativity, which is very important when you're pursuing freedom. When you're pursuing financial freedom, to be very specific. Second is yung lack of fulfillment. Usually, yung mga high earners na walang time freedom, sila yung mga unfulfilled. Kasi nga, they feel that they're in this rat race na just chasing every end of the month para makaipon or at least makaalis dun sa kinalagyan nila and they're not enjoying what they're doing. Lastly is yung health problems that I mentioned kanina. Yung stress from overworking can lead to serious health issues tulad ng hypertension and heart disease. Diba? Ang daming mga ganyang cases ngayon, lalo na nung nag-pandemic. Tapos, isipin mo no, you worked your entire life, tapos na-develop mo itong mga sakit na to. Yumaman ka nga, kaya lang yung perang naipon mo or na-build mo na mga assets, ginamit mo lang para magpagamot ka. So, diba, hindi yun yung best use of money, in my opinion. And there's this study noong 2004 ng Harvard Business School na meron silang study on work-life balance. And nakita nila na yung mga tao daw na nag-prioritize ng time freedom reported higher job satisfaction and overall happiness kumpara dun sa mga tao na ang hinabo lang is yung financial success. Kaya lang, bakit ba until now, we still focus so much on financial success first? Well, I think there are three reasons. First is yung cultural norms and corporate structures push us na i-prioritize ang money over time. Second is yung traditional corporate setups reward long hours instead of efficiency. Diba? Hindi yung outcome eh. They're focused on the outputs. Kung marami kang napoproduce, they think na yun yung mas productive na way of doing work. Ang tawag dyan is pseudo-productivity dito naman sa bago kong book na binabasa ni Cal Newport, which is yung slow productivity. Probably I'll discuss that later on or in the next few episodes. Also, yung ating education system emphasizes career achievements without teaching time management or work-life balance. Yan yung second. And then lastly is nung Industrial Revolution, yung mga factory workers had little control over their schedules, leading to widespread discontent and the rise of labor movements advocating for shorter workdays. And I think hindi na nag-evolve ang ating workplace for the longest time na ang 9 to 5 is still the norm, di ba? Samantalang ang dami ng advancements sa technology that can help in cutting down yung mga tasks na repetitive and meaningless. So, I really think na dapat magbago na yung norm sa mga offices. And I think it's one of the reasons bakit din ako nag-push na unahin yung mga trabaho or maggawin yung mga trabaho na mas nagbibigay sa akin ng control over my time. So, let me tell you bakit I want to prioritize time freedom first bago yung financial freedom. No, naalala ko nung nandito ako sa crossroads ng buhay ko, no? Parang naisip ko, okay, makapag-build nga ako ng wealth or probably meron ako nabibuild na assets right now. Kaya lang itong trabaho ko doesn't give meaning sa akin. Walang value pa. Wala siyang value sa akin. And parang I'm doing this just for the money. And then I realized na life is too short. What if bukas, di ba? Masagasaan ako, patay na ako, ganyan. Parang wala akong na-contribute sa mundo. And since life is too short, naisip ko na there's so much more to explore. Di ko man hilig yung pagta-travel sa iba't ibang parts ng mundo. Pero sobrang interested ako to learn so many things. Build different skills. And na-feel ko na yung 9 to 5 na grind ko was limiting my potential in terms of personal growth and also in terms of money. Kasi kahit sabi magtrabaho ko ng sobrang kayod kalabaw, ika nga, no? Yung kinikita mo is ganun lang din. Kahit gaano ka kasipag, nakakap yung income na kinikita mo. Kaya I thought na hindi talaga to about working hard eh. Hindi lang palaging working hard and doing the grind. Hindi ito yung magbibuild sa akin ng wealth na hinahangat ko. And then next is ayokong mabuhay with regrets. Ang dami kong mga gustong gawin. I realized bago ko mag-30, napansin ko na ang dami ko pa palang kailangan explore sa sarili ko. And mula nung time na nag-start na ako mag-share ng financial literacy, I thought na ito yung dapat kong i-pursue. And yung mga skills, yung mga bagay na na-achieve ko in my 20s, parang kulang. Hindi na enough para dun sa next kind of life na gusto kong gawin. And ang dami kong mga what if nung time na yon. Kaya malaki yung desire ko na i-try na humanap ng isang career na merong magbibigay sa akin ng flexibility ng oras. And talking about flexibility, one of the reasons why I want to pursue itong time freedom first before financial freedom is because of autonomy. And when a person has autonomy over his time, meron siyang control dun sa gusto niyang gawin today, nagkakaroon ka ng sense of fulfillment at least. Diba? Kahit hindi man sobrang dami ng pera mo, pero you get to do the things that you want to do on that day, on that week, then it gives some sense of fulfillment. And I also realized na if you have self-management, tawag nila dito sa agency, diba? Over your thoughts, over your actions, over your time, you can use that to make more money. Okay, I always think na itong number na to lagi iniisip ko, 57,600. Oh, yan yung meron ako every day. And tuwing every next day nare-refresh siya, I always have 57,600. Hindi ito pera. I'm talking about seconds. If I work 16 hours a day and then yung 8 hours is for sleep, for rest, diba? So, nung time na magta-transition na ako dito sa mas flexible na schedule, ito talaga inisip ko na I have 30 days, I have 30 chances every month to make it right, diba? Because otherwise, babalik ako dun sa 9 to 5 grind ko. So, yun yung inisip ko talaga palagi. I cannot fail. I don't have any options. And although may option ako to go back, pero ayoko nang bumalik, diba? Yun yung iniisip ko nung time na magta-transition ako. And I've heard this quote ni Theophrastus. Sabi niya nga doon na, time is the most valuable thing a man can spend. Ang lalim, diba? So, isipin mo, yung pera na, o yung oras na meron ka, you can always reinvest that. So, talagang na-excite ako na mag-jump sa isang career na hawak ko yung oras ko. So, i-share ko yung story ko, no, para magkaroon kayo ng para mayroon tayong konting context. Nung dumating ako sa Dubai, start ako mag-work as a call center agent sa isang electronic shop. Malaki siya dito sa UAE. And ang shift ko noon was, I think 9 to 6 yung first. And then yung evening shift is 12 to 11 hanggang closing na yun. And meron lang akong 1 day off every week. So yung 1 day off na yun, usually ginagamit ko na lang yun para magpahinga and maglaba. And ito yung time na parang nahihilig na ako sa personal finance. So gusto kong umattend ng mga workshops, ng mga seminars. Kaya lang, hindi ko nga siya magawa kasi nga sobrang tied up ako dun sa trabaho ko na yun. So, despite of this hectic schedule, ang ginawa ko na lang is nag-commit ako na magbasa ng about personal finance for at least 30 minutes a day. Minimum yun. Pagka uwi ko, ayun yung gagawin ko. Dinitch ko na yung pagdodota, dinitch ko na yung mga other stuff na ginagawa ko, yung social media. At least binawasan ko na ng time na yun. And nag-focus ako sa pagbabasa. And pag wala kaming tawag sa call center, nagbabasa talaga ako. Nandun ako sa isang sulok ng office and then nagbabasa lang ako. And then over time, nag-transition ako to being a telemarketer. Nakahalipat ako ng work na nagbigay sa akin ng 2 days off. So sa 2 days off na yun, ginagamit yun to attend seminars. And then fixed yung schedule ko ng 9 to 6 or 10 to 6 ata yun. And then once or twice a week, umattend ako ng Toastmasters event or Toastmasters na meeting namin para naman sa public speaking, para ma-enhance ko yung aking public speaking skills. So, ganun ko siya ginagamit. And yung free time na rin na yun, after shift, ginamit ko to build my network, to build people na have the same mindset and are also investing, also into business and also into personal growth. So, ganun ko siya ginamit. And then, there were also times na nagkukondak ako ng mga sessions about budgeting to help other people. So, naisip ko na, okay, parang masaya itong ginagawa ko na dapat, what if ito yung ginagawa ko every day? Diba? Parang best feeling ever. So, yun yung inisip ko. Parang lagi akong nagigising ng madaling araw, always thinking about what if I'm doing itong thing na related sa financial education. So when I got the opportunity na mag-work sa isang insurance company or so isang brokerage firm wherein wala ka talagang fixed na schedule, then doon ako nagkaroon ng desire na talagang mag-shift ng career. And mula nun, ilang years na rin. That was 2018. So 6-7 years na rin siguro na flexible na naging oras ko. Nagkaroon ako ng mga shift ng career. Nag-real estate ako, as you know. Diba? And nag-business setup din ako lately. So, lahat yon flexible yung oras. And ang dami kong nagawa in that, kailan ba? 9 years na ako sa Dubai. Today, nag-record ako, 9 years na ako. Sa dami ng oras ko, sa dami na nagawa ko, feeling ko, nakarami na ako ng lifetimes. Sa dami ko na na-experience. Compared dun sa first 7 years ko nagtrabaho sa Pilipinas, working din sa call center, na kaya ko siyang i-summarize into siguro 1 paragraph. Pero itong time na I had autonomy over my time and schedule, ibang-iba siya. Ang naisip ko na lang is hindi naman to about having more leisure time when I transition to this path. Mas mahirap talaga siya eh. It was actually about engaging in activities na nag-enrich ng aking personal and professional life. So, later on, yun na yung work ko, na mas flexible na siya, tinatry ko matapos yung mga tasks ko for at least 4 to 6 hours and then invest the rest of my time sa personal growth. Kaya in-expand ko palalo yung network ko and then hinone ko pa yung craft about personal finance, financial coaching, and as a financial educator para mas lumalim pa yung kaalaman ko dito sa subject na to. And ito pa, I also kept my personal expenses very low para kapag invest ako sa mga tools and software na makakatulong sa akin para mag-research, makagawa ng podcast, and makapag-produce ng content and makatipid pa ng oras lalo so I can reinvest that extra time pabalik dito sa aking gustong gawin. And share ko lang din sa inyo yung idea ni Dan Sullivan dun sa kanyang book nga na Who Not How kasi nabasa ko siya 2 months ago or 3 months ago And nabanggit niya doon yung 4 freedoms that motivate successful entrepreneurs. And I think it's very applicable sa sa aming mga nakikinig na hindi naman nagbe-business. Pero I really encourage na itry niyo ang entrepreneurship kasi maraming kayong made-develop na skill set around that. So it's probably a different episode na rin para ma-share ko sa inyo kung ano yung mga matutunan nyo about this. So yung first na freedom na binanggit niya doon is of course yung freedom of time. Kaya sabi niya doon, you want to work on what you enjoy and also have time for other interests. Yun yung foundation niya. Sumunod is yung freedom of money. You don't want any limit sa iyong earnings for valuable contributions and keep what you earn. So, the good thing with entrepreneurship kasi is ikaw yung magdi-decide kung magkano gusto mong kitain, right? And when you're doing something na meaningful that serves other people's problems, then you want to make more money kasi nga you'll use that money to help more people. And then once you have that freedom, you also have freedom of relationships when you get to spend time with people you enjoy and appreciate in your work. So, kumbaga, you only work with the people na you want to work with. Diba? If may boss ka na ayaw mo katrabaho, wala kang choice, di ba? Wala kang freedom of relationship na tinatawag niya. And lastly is yung freedom of purpose. Sabi niya doon na yung business mo daw aligns with your values, giving you a deep sense of purpose and making a positive impact. So, ito nga pa na ito, yung 4 types of freedom niya. And ang lagi niya sinasabi doon sa book na yun, ang pinakauna pa rin is yung freedom of time nga, like I was saying. Kasi sabi niya na it isn't solely about having all the time to do what you want. It also involves using your time on increasingly quality activities. So, tulad ng share ko kanina na yung time, yung extra time na nakukuha ko or na natitipid ko, siguro when I have control over my time, I use that to reinvest dun sa aking personal growth. So, paano ba ang gagawin natin if you want to achieve itong freedom of time nga bago yung financial freedom, right? Prioritize time freedom by strategically choosing roles and activities that offer more control over your time. So, you have to be clear. Ano ba yung gusto mong gawin? Diba? And bakit? And then, you choose the role na you think is magko-complement dun sa gusto mong gawin. So that you still enjoy your work. Kahit sabi mo na hindi ka naman entrepreneur, pero you are in a career na you enjoy, then at least you get the chance to grow as an individual without sacrificing yung risks in terms of finances. So, second thing is to evaluate your time. I-analyze mo where you spend your days. Ask yourself, are you making choices or are you reacting to the demands of others? Kasi otherwise, you'll just be someone na nagtitake lang ng mga orders from somebody else. And hindi mo na ma-maximize yung oras mo to grow as an employee, as an individual. And then, next is to set boundaries. You have to learn to say no and protect your time. Kasi if you always say yes to all the things na binibigay sa'yo, you're also saying no to other things. And most of the time, yung nagsisay no ka dun sa mga bagay na talaga importante sa'yo because you don't want to disappoint others. And that is why sobrang important na hindi ka maging people pleaser. When you choose to make more time for yourself, there will be seasons or there will be instances na may madidisappoint kang tao. Probably yung someone na closest to you. Pero if what you want to achieve is important, then yung mga frictions na to in terms of relationships is something that you will be able to handle eventually. Kasi ma-realize mo na these people who are not in line with your goals and your core values, eventually you'll have to let them go. So you have to set boundaries. These are hard choices in life, but these are necessary if you really want to reach a certain level of success. Third is to automate and delegate. Well, if you have financial resources na kaya mong i-automate yung mga tasks mo, then that's better. Kasi it should free up your schedule by automating yung mga routine tasks and delegating where possible. If you are nasa supervisory level na, then you can delegate better. Pero delegation doesn't mean na you're passing yung mga tasks lang. Hindi ganun yun, okay? It means na you're trusting your subordinate na ma-execute niya yung bagay na gusto mong ma-execute. Kasi when you are a supervisor na, you are the one who's giving the vision to others, and hayaan mo lang sila na gawin yung bagay na kailangan nilang gawin to reach a certain result. So, you have to learn how to delegate. Because otherwise, ikaw lang din nagagawa niyan. Mababurn out ka. Diyan ako nagka-problema nun. When I was promoted as a young supervisor in my 20s, I didn't know how to delegate. So, lesson learned. And then next is you have to pursue values. You only engage in activities that reflect your values and goals. Because otherwise, you're wasting your time. And then lastly is to use money wisely. I-invest mo yung pera mo in tools and services that give you more time. I would say na if you are trying to learn time management or energy management, hire a coach na expert doon and use the money to learn that skill. Kasi yung skill naman na yan is going to be a worthy investment. I'm telling you, yung mga ganyang klase ng ways of using money is worth every penny. Every centavo ko naman yan. Every dirham kung nasa Dubai ka. So, yun yung mga solutions na I can think of if you want to pursue yung time management. Or sorry, if you want to pursue time freedom. Kaya lang, I have some words of caution bago mo siya simulan. Kasi in my experience, talagang ang hirap niya. And if I'll be given a chance to do it again, probably I could have done it in a different way. Kasi nga nung time na yon sobrang highly demotivated na ako sa work. And parang ang lakas nung desire na talagang mag-focus sa financial education. And I had no one to guide me. So, ito yung mga bagay na you have to keep in mind at first. First is yung financial security. Kasi focusing solely on time freedom without a stable financial base can lead to financial stress. Mahirap yan. Kaya you have to ensure na you have a safety net. Like yung emergency savings or a buffer fund para mag-try ng isang bagay na hindi mo pa nagagawa before. Kasi nga, I remember, I saved up, I think, 3 months of my income para mag-shift ng career. And yung career nga na nilipatan ko sa insurance, wala yung defined na monthly income. So kung wala kang client, wala kang kainin. Lumabot sa point na sa 3rd month ko, na-deplete ko na talaga yung aking emergency fund. And siguro by the grace of God talaga, nagkaroon ako ng mga kliyente nung last month na. And sabi ko pa, babalik na ako sa dating trabaho. Wala, I did my best for 3 months. Pero parang hirap makakuha ng kliyente. Kahit sabi mo na meron akong network na na-build, hindi pa rin pala siya ganun kadali. Pero yun nga, good thing, dumating yung mga clients ko nung mga 3rd month na and I got to survive for the next month. And then, yun na, the rest is history, sabi nga nila. So, sumunod is yung income stability. Pag nag-transition ka sa ganito mga, sa ganito klase ng mindset or sa ganito klase ng path, okay? Yung mga roles na mag-offer sa'yo ng more time, freedom, may initially result in lower income, which is true. Kaya, dapat i-expect mo rin yan kasi nga kung mas gusto mo ng autonomy early on, hindi mo naman ma-expect na mababayaran ka agad ng malaki. Kasi you have to prove your worth sa market na gusto mo boss ka na kaagad pero wala ka pang skills na develop. Hindi ganun yun. It doesn't work that way unless maraming pera yung magulang mo na kaya kang sustentuhan, right? Meron kang parang pension sa mga nanay at tatay mo pagka gusto mong mag-explore, which hindi lahat ng tao may ganung privilege. And kaya dapat pagka pinursu mo tong path na to, yung mga desire mo to splurge, i-tame mo na muna. Dapat, kumbaga, magaling ka na sa pagdating sa delayed gratification. Kasi there will be times na hindi ka kikita ng malaki. There will be so many times. Kaya, mapapractice yung paghahawak mo ng pera. And that is why ang ang stability ng income is something na hindi mo na i-expect. Okay? Unless pupunta ka pa rin sa isang role na kumbaga parang sa isang trabaho na 9 to 5 pa rin, pero mas malaki yung autonomy ng oras mo and marami kang magagawa. And the next is yung lifestyle creep. You have to avoid yung temptation to increase your spending as you gain more free time. Kasi eventually naman, lalaki rin ang kita mo. Hindi lang siya talaga agad-agad. Pero pagka umabot sa point na let's say, nangyari sa akin, parang may one time na yung kinita ko is enough for me to survive for the next 3 to 4 months. So, di ba? Medyo malaking pera. And matitempt ka talaga na bumili ng latest na MacBook. Di ba? Yung daming pera, parang inisip mo, kaya ko uling kitain to eh. So, kaya lang, pagka ganito na yung path na tinake mo, kailangan mo talaga na maging magaling sa pagbabudget, magaling sa pag-handle ng pera. Kasi otherwise, pagka kinapos ka sa mga susunod na buwan, malulubog ka sa utang. Good thing hindi ako nalubog sa utang. Siguro, nasagad lang. May mga moments talaga na nasagad lang. And then, habang nandito ka na sa path mo na to, you have to pursue further skill development. It is essential na you spend or you invest your time sa iyong personal and professional growth. Kasi otherwise, magkakaroon ka ng stagnation. So, kaya nga, dapat disiplinado ka na mag-aral, mag-fail, and mag-move forward. Kasi ito yung mga experiences na magbibuild pa sa'yo ng further skills. Hindi lang ito yung mga inaaral mo na courses. Yung skill development also happens sa iyong mga attempts to further progression sa iyong buhay. Again, failure will help you build those skills. Parang skill ba ang pagiging makapal na mukha? Yan. Kasama yun. Pagka nandun ka na sa mga industry na talagang katulad nandun ako sa sales. So, kasama yun. Next is yung health and well-being. While time freedom can reduce stress, yung mga sudden changes sa iyong routine can also disrupt your well-being. Kasi naging problema ko naman nung marami na akong oras. Sabi ko, hindi ko na alam ngayon kung saan ko ano nang gagawin ko dun sa oras ko. Nai-stress naman ako paano ko i-handle tong sobrang dami ng oras. Hindi pa ako ganun kagaling mag-handle ng time ko. Kasi nga nasanay ako ng 9 to 5 for the last for a decade na nagtrabaho ako. Kaya doon ako nahirapan. And may mga moments na nagpupuyat talaga ako. Gising ko na is minsan may meeting ako na until 12 midnight. Tapos I have to wake up ng mga 7 or 8 kasi may meetings pa rin kami doon sa work ko sa insurance, pero may mga araw talaga na nakakalimutan mo na kumain. Like for me, there was a time na sobrang kaka-hustle ko, 'di ba? May 4 na meetings ako and minsan nakakatulog na ako sa metro habang nag-aantay doon sa client ko. So, ganun siya. May mga moments talaga na mapapabayaan mo pa rin yung sarili mo kasi nga may iniiwasan ka na mangyari sa'yo, which is yung mawalan ng pera habang ginagawa mo to dahil nga hindi pa stable yung income. So mayroon talaga mga ganong tendencies. So you have to be careful with that. Next is yung commitment mo sa goals. Dapat pagka pinursu mo tong time freedom over financial freedom muna, yung commitment mo sa goals mo mataas. Kumbaga hindi ka dapat pumetics. Kung pumetics naman siguro, it's a reward para pag na-reach mo yung mga milestones mo sa buhay. Pero ang commitment mo sa goals ang magdetermine ng success mo sa ganitong klase ng path. Kaya dapat meron kang structure. You have clear and actionable goals and you have systems in place sa mga panahon na tatamarin ka. Kasi may moments talaga tatamarin ka. And pag hawak mo na oras mo, hindi ka pwedeng tamarin. Kasi nga, yari ang iyong finances eventually. And then, meron ding opportunity costs dito sa ganitong klase ng lifestyle. And habang meron kang time freedom, it might also make you miss out on other opportunities na ibibigay sa'yo ng pagkaroon ng isang structured or ng pagkaroon ng isang income na you expect every end of the month. So, yun. Pero in my experience naman, worth it yung trade-off sa mga, dahil mas marami akong nakuhang opportunities. Dahil nga, palagi akong nasa labas, palagi ako naipag-usap sa mga tao. And because of that, mas marami pa rin akong opportunities outside the office na pinagtatrabaho ko when I was doing the 9 to 5. Kasi I felt na nung nasa 4 na sulok lang ako ng office na yon, yung opportunities ko, na-limit lang dun sa environment na yon. Pero nung hawak ko ng oras ko and I'm going to different events, different networking events, dun mas lumaki yung opportunities. And ang dami ko nakilala, ang dami kong mga natulungan, ang dami rin tumulong sa akin na magbigay ng opportunity. So, it's a win-win situation for me. And lastly is, of course, pag gusto mo i-pursue ang time freedom first, you need to have consistency. Kasi otherwise, pagka nawala yung momentum mo, nahihirapan kang ibalik yon. And pag hindi ka na consistent sa iyong ginagawa, babalik ka talaga dun sa old habits mo. And definitely, tatamarin ka na and babalik ka na lang din sa dati mong lifestyle. Kaya, mahalaga pa rin talaga na pag pinursu mo tong path na to, meron kang deep sense of purpose. Lagi ko sinasabi to, no? Deep sense of purpose. Hindi yung superficial na purpose lang. And hindi lang din money alone. Kasi nga, tulad sabi ko kanina, pag nagpursu ka ng time freedom first, hindi mo agad mafe-feel yung financial rewards. Matagal. Sobrang tagal. And kung hindi ka consistent, hindi mo siya ma-achieve. Kaya nga yung purpose mo will always fuel yung day-to-day actions. So kung hindi clear sa'yo yung purpose mo, parang ginagawa mo lang to kasi parang burnt out ka na sa trabaho, I will not suggest na i-pursue mo tong ganitong klase ng path. Siguro, if gusto mo yung time freedom first, pero ayaw mo mag-risk na mawala ng income, then probably look for a different job na lang na will still give you that consistent na income habang hindi mo pa nabibuild yung skills, yung habit, and yung discipline na sinabi ko kanina. And until such time na you think, okay, may financial stability na ako, or at least security man lang, hindi stability, well, you can at least try, diba? Ang path na to is exciting and stressful in a good way kasi gusto ko naman yung stress na meron ako ngayon. Dahil nga, palaging may dito ako mas natutong kumapit sa Diyos. Totoo yun. Okay? Na parang you always worry for ano bang mangyayari the next day. And then pag na-train mo naman yung sarili mo na kumapit sa Kanya, and dun na-strengthen yung faith mo, di nawawala yung worries mo. So, alam mo yun, maganda overall, naging maganda experience ko kasi nga, na mas lumalim yung pananalig ko sa Kanya, sa taas. So, parang in my personal view, magandang path itong tahakin. Pero again, meron akong disclaimer, meron akong mga bagay na ginawa before I jumped and pursued it on time freedom first. Okay, so ang dami sinabi na naman sa episode na to. And recap ko lang kung ano mga pinagdadaldal ko dito, no? So, sinabi ko kanina na yung time freedom is the foundation of financial freedom. Bago mo ma-achieve